Hello everyone, my name is Luis Ortiz and I hope you are having a wonderful week. And this week, during the week's reading about the social constructs and the ecological identity, one of the readings that resonate with me and I felt identified and I wanted to dive into was the chapter 5. It's called Ecological Identities of Indigenous Peoples, Historical Process of Construction. From the book The Ecological Native, Indigenous Peoples, Movements and Eco-Governmentality in Colombia. It was written by Dr. Astrid Ulloa in 2005. So let's dive into that. Growing up in my village, I felt treated the same as other relatives and friends, but once I moved to a nearby town to study in high school, I started noticing that some of my classmates were not treated very respectfully because of their skin color, appearance, or because of their family names. Just 2 miles from the high school, an indigenous community of Chortí, the descendants of the ancient and well-known Mayan civilization, still exist and struggles to keep their culture and customs alive. While I myself am also part Chortí and also mestizo, which makes my indigenous past different from that of these Chortí communities, whose people have not been blended as a result of the Spanish colonialism. From Dr. Ulloa's book, I want to highlight the following findings that I agree with and contrast with Honduras indigenous people. First, Dr. Ulloa states, some anthropologists and historians have examined the relationship between indigenous peoples and the environment to determine if there ever was harmonious relationship between them and the environment prior to colonial encounters. These scholars claim that such harmonious relationship was indeed possible because the conquest, but it was broken by the introduction of commercial circuits of fur, feathers, pets, and meat. That was in page 131. So post-colonialism significantly impacts the lifestyle we practice nowadays, including how we interact with nature. I was talking with my former coworker who is a member of the Chortí community. He states that he struggles to find support to keep his culture and language alive. So he started leading tours around his village to show how folks in his community live and the activities that I still try to practice. This includes growing corn as Mayans used to and using corn stalks to create art and decorations while producing colorful cloth. Second, Dr. Ulloa states that indigenous peoples are in constant interaction and negotiation with global environmental processes that reshape both local and transnational practices, representations, discourses, and identities. Page 134. Because of the battles of social fights to preserve and protect their land, Honduran indigenous groups have been battling stronger than ever, fearless against the destruction of nature and natural resources caused by neo-colonialism, globalization, and settled colonialism. An example is the murder of the leader Lenca indigenous leader and winner of the Goldman Environmental Prize in 2005, Berta Cáceres. She and other leaders have been fighting fearlessly against rich oligarchical families in Honduras that wanted to build an hydroelectric plant by force that, without environmental studies, will destroy its only water source. Last summer, my wife and I led a poetry event in Central Park to honor her memory and legacy. Surprisingly, many students and people in general didn't know who she was or why she was murdered for. Today, Lencas, Chortís, Garífunas, and other indigenous groups keep having active roles in the negotiation that could negatively affect the existence and deep connections with nature. Lastly, Dr. Ulloa's chapter among other reflections, made emphasize with the importance of understanding the indigenous perspectives on how hard have been for them to have an active role in the construction of the society in the last 500 years. But now it is notorious for active participation in aspects such as social, political, economic, and cultural dynamics that have been and want to be dominated by Western culture and customs. Their struggles have not changed over the centuries, but their love for nature and their identity will prevail for centuries. Something important to consider in the future research of our studies. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have questions, comments, and we can have an enriched discussion about it.